Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat?
From the right hash mark, at the edge of the Falcon feather. And it's good. It's good.
A game like that, those are the kind that, excuse me, rip your heart out. But I know we got a good football team in that locker room. Now, we have to play better. We can't spot a team 14 points, a good team, and expect to win those type of games. The fact that you come back and put yourself in a position to win that tells me that we got a good football team.
Where to begin? Like, if you watch the NFL, I'm not patronizing. Like, I don't need to tell you this. You know this. Like, the margin in the NFL is so slim. The margin between winning and losing. I mean, the average margin in the NFL is about a field goal. So, yes, Dennis Allen is right. You can't spot an opponent 14 points. And the fact that you were close to winning that game, in spite of that, says some good things. However, you are what you are. Like, there's no ambiguity in the NFL. You are what your record says you are. You either have an ability to close games or you don't. Y'all, what happened on Sunday with the New Orleans Saints, I'm not sure that everyone is fully grasped how improbable that scenario is. You might have seen the stat by now. Our guy Ross Jackson had it over at LouisianaSports.net. On Sunday, your New Orleans Saints became just the third team in the history of the National Football League to score at least 24 points, not allow an offensive touchdown, and lose. By the way, one of the other three was the New Orleans Saints in 1983. So two of the three in NFL history belong to your Saints. I mean, that is a masterclass in incompetence. To do something that in the history of this league has only been done two other times. To snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Where y'all want to begin? How about Rashid Shaheed? Great player, man. Deep threat extraordinaire. Potent weapon. Why are you fielding the punt at the 1 yard line? Christ almighty. Are you really trying to fair catch a punt inside the 5? Remember playing Park League football at Kenilworth. Go Chiefs. Freaking coaches told you when you're 5 years old, put your heels on the 10. Don't field it inside. You muffle punt at the 1 yard line? The hell away from it. Derek Carr's pick 6. Oh, I've seen the hand waving on that. Oh, he was unlucky. I've watched the play from every angle 100 times. One of the least self-aware moments you can imagine from a guy who's been an NFL quarterback for a decade. They have a screen pass set up for Chris Olave. Carr recognizes it's covered, so he pump fakes. It draws the defender, and then he's going to go throw it forward to Olave, but here comes Matthew Judon, and Carr thinks he's going to, like, Patrick Mahomes it, like sidearm it around Matthew Judon. It gets tipped, pick six the other way. Know when to give up on a play. It's year 11, Derek Carr. Christ almighty, what are you doing? Y'all want to talk about the 2-minute offense? Let's do that. That'd be about as fun as punching in the nuts. Guess what? It's a 3-point game. You get the ball. What do we talk about all the time? End of the first half, start of the second, get a chance to go back to back. Even 2 field goals get you the lead. 2-minute offense included a penalty on your first-round left tackle, who apparently doesn't even know how to line up. You try to throw a sideline route to your tight end, who is standing out of bounds. There is not a defender within 10 yards of Juwan Johnson, and both feet are out of bounds. Nobody's near him. You have a third down play where Derek Carr is going to take a shot over the middle to Rashid Shaheed, and he leaves the pass about 10 yards short. Why? Because he wouldn't step into the throw because he had pressure coming in his face. It's always been the knock on Derek Carr. You pressure him, he'll get happy feet. Atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Paulson Adebo. How about another PI? Everybody gets a PI. You get a PI. You get a PI. You get a PI when Adebo's on you. 30-yard penalty ultimately loses you the game. Look, I know some of y'all have said, "Oh, but Matt, did you even look at the injury report?" Hell yeah, I looked at the injury report. Down 2 starting offensive linemen. You lose Taysom Hill after the first half. Demario Davis doesn't play for an injury for the first time in his 13-year career. You lose Willie Gay. You lose Tyrann Mathieu during the game. Oh, I looked at it. Hell yeah, I did. And if the New Orleans Saints had lost that game because you would have told me, man, Shane Lemieux, Lucas Patrick, you're missing McCoy and Ruiz. The middle of that Falcons defense, Grady Jarrett, David Onyemata, they just wrecked those guys all day. Landon Young just couldn't hang. If that had been the reality, I could have said, I get it, man. Look, you had a practice squad center you called up. Landon Young, who's a tackles playing guard. It's just a really tough draw. I get it. If that had happened. If you told me, man, look, no Demario Davis, Willie Gay gets hurt, Tyrann Mathieu gets hurt, and you go, man, look, the defense, they just couldn't handle all those personnel losses, so it was just a rough day. None of that happened! Your defense didn't allow a touchdown! Your defense didn't allow a touchdown! Alvin Kamara ran for 80 yards on the day. I mean, your offense moved the football. If you had told me that Derek Carr was sacked 5 times and you ran it for 37 yards because your offensive line was a sieve, like that's one thing. You put up 366 yards of offense. You ran 131 yards for an average of 4 a carry. You lost this game because of your gross incompetence. Because you fumbled the ball at the 1. You muffed a punt at the 1-yard line. Your quarterback threw an inexplicable pick 6. Your situational awareness at the end of the first half was atrocious. The inability to run a 2-minute offense when you had plays there. Juwan Johnson was open on the sideline. Rashid Shaheed was open over the middle. This is incompetence. And that all goes back to coaching. Effort, discipline, how to win awareness, self-awareness, all of that. This is how you get mired in mediocrity. This is how you live in a perpetual state of 8-9, 9-8, 7-10. This is how. You cannot establish consistency. Why are great teams great? Consistency. The Saints do not have it. Man. And we've done this now, and this is the problem, that every year we have this conversation. Last year, I sat here after you lost to Green Bay, and I told you that's the one that's going to bite you in the ass. That's the one, the first week in January, when you miss the playoffs by a game, we're going to look back and say you gagged that one away. 2 years ago, the Saints lost a home game to the Giants where you were up 2 scores with under 8 minutes to play, and you let Daniel Jones come back and beat you. And I told you then, that's the one that's going to bite you in the ass. That's the one when you're home for the playoffs, you miss it by a game, you're going to look back and say, how did we lose that one? And I'm telling you right now, dollars to donuts, you can bet this is the one we're going to talk about whenever the Saints miss the playoffs again this season for a 4th consecutive year, and you look back, they lose the division by a game, miss a wild card, however it's going to go, we're going to look back and go, man, you went to Atlanta shorthanded, didn't allow an offensive touchdown, scored 24 and lost that game. This is going to be the one that we look back, and this is the one that is a swift kick in the gonads. This one. And think about what you lost on Sunday. Think about what you lost. I get it, you're 2-2. Season's not over. You're 2-2. But win this game. We talked about it on Friday. Win this game. You're 3-1. You're 2-0 in the division. You have a head-to-head against Atlanta, and you bury them at 1-3. Lose. Now you're 2-2. You're tied with Atlanta. They have the head-to-head over you. And, oh, by the way, Tampa won, so now you're trailing Tampa as well. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. I shouldn't be surprised because this is what this team has been now for 3 years with Dennis Allen. This is what they are. There's going to be wins that make you think they've turned the corner, they've figured it out, but then they do this. It's their inability to find and establish consistency. Be it offense, defense, special teams, whatever it may be. This is their bugaboo, and this is who they are and who they're going to continue to be. Man, I know a lot of people are talking about the 4th and goal with about 4 minutes to go, going on it, passing on the field goal. That's one instance where I actually agree with passing on the field goal. Like, there's 4 minutes to go in the game. You need a touchdown. So, like, you're down 6. You could kick the field goal and make it 3, but there's no guarantee you're getting the ball back. They could go into a 4-minute offense. You could never touch it again. So I actually don't hate the decision to go for it on that 4th down. And plus, if you don't get it, now you buried them, which happened, and then they tried to bleed timeouts and run clock. You got a short field, and you ended up scoring, as we know, with a minute left in the game. So I didn't hate that decision. Now, in the second quarter, even the third quarter, I'm saying take the points right there. There's a lot of game left. But in that situation, I didn't hate the decision. I actually agree with the decision there to go for it on 4th down. But it don't matter. Result's what it is. Saints lose, and now you got to turn around and go to Kansas City on Monday Night Football. And unless you can find a way to beat the Chiefs, which are the picture of consistency in the NFL, despite not playing their best and losing Rashee Rice yesterday, they're 4-0. Unless you can figure out a way to beat them on their home field, you're going to drop to 2-3, and you will have as close to a must-win at home the following week against Tampa as you could possibly imagine. A lot of season left, but it is so hard to look at what happened on Sunday and not think, damn it, that's going to be the one that costs him the game. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.